there, this is Quanisha Green, founder of Black Women CEO, coming to you with a quick note before the episode. So I've been so excited about all the lives that we do consistently on Black Women CEO, in our Black Women CEO Facebook group, on the Black Women CEO Facebook page. And I want to make sure that our podcast listeners are not missing the experience because we show up consistently on Facebook, but I want to be able to share that audio with you. So you have many ways to actually engage with our content. So from now on, we are doing Black Women CEO Podcast Live, where we will be sharing the live videos from Facebook, actually acknowledging like, hey, this is our podcast live. This is how we're going to continue to communicate. So we will make sure to include the Facebook live video so that if you actually want to watch that. Also in the description for today's video, you will also see the link to our Facebook group. Every Tuesday, we do Talk Tuesday, which is a training, and it's so great to show up live as you'll hear podcast live videos that were interactive. You can get your questions answered at that time. And then lastly, about let's say every 2 months or so, we will be doing the Meant for More workshop, which is all about helping you to increase in your profits, power, and purpose within as little as 7 days. So many of the workshops that we'll do will be kind of helping you to understand why we even have the Meant for More workshop, right? Giving you some understanding, easy tips, debunking myths, talking about the mistakes we could be making, right? And giving you even some solutions. And then in the workshop, we get down into the how to, right? How do you find clients? What is the mindset we need to have? How do you create a high-end offer, right? How do you sell so that people will invest? So if you hear me talk about the Meant for More workshop, like in this episode, just know to go ahead and click that link no matter the date that is said, because we will have them coming up consistently throughout the year. So if you're listening after the date that is stated, go ahead and still click that link and see when the next one is coming up, right? So I hope you enjoy this new format where we're sharing the lives and posting everything on our different platforms so that you can really have an enriching experience and don't miss out on all the good goods that we have here at Black Women CEO. So, and one more thing before you go, please subscribe to the podcast, right? Particularly on iTunes. Subscribe, rate, and review so iTunes know that this is a good show and they show it to more Black women. And guess what? When you do that, you help another sister rise. Let's go ahead and just click subscribe, write a comment, because the more comments we have, the more people know that this is a podcast worth listening to. So if you ever have gotten anything from what we have shared, I would so appreciate it. And I will be reading some of your reviews on air so people can see how our series, our platform is supporting you. Okay, go ahead, go listen to the episode, and I will talk to you soon. This is Black Woman CEO. Welcome to the only podcast dedicated to giving you the raw and real experiences of successful Black women entrepreneurs. Yes, girl, we're talking about the behind the scenes strategies of what it takes to increase in your profit, power, and purpose. I am your host, Quanisha Green, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. Hey there. This is Quanisha Green, founder of Black Women CEO. Welcome to our new Talk Tuesday, where I'm going to share a training every week. This actually used to be the Black Women Chat and Chew. But I actually want to do more of a training series to support you in building a revenue generating business and elevating your confidence and emancipating your earning power. So I'm so glad you're here. So our Talk Tuesday topic for this month, April 2020, is captivating clients. Captivating clients. Put clients below if you feel like that is the one thing you may be struggling with actually growing your business or getting started with your business. Because here's the thing, you may have heard me say this before, that if you are not generating revenue in your business, what you have is an expensive hobby, right? If you're not generating revenue in your business, I'm going to say it again, what you have is an expensive hobby. And my goal here as Black Women CEO, like I said, is to emancipate your earning power, because on average, Black women entrepreneurs generate close to $24,000 a year. That is the last statistic of the state of women-owned businesses that was commissioned by American Express, right? And actually went down from $27,753. And there's a number of reasons why that is, right? So yes, there's macro issues like bias and all those different things like that, but there's also issues that are really about our internal biases, right? And that's why we work on confidence so much here at Black Women CEO, because we want you to have the skill, we want you to have the confidence, right? To actually get out there and share your expertise, to feel like you know what you know like the back of your hand, right? How you get results, how you get transformation, and then having the courage to really show up and show out, to really position yourself as a thought leader, right? And so this is why I wanted to come and talk about captivating clients, because it's not just about sales, right? It's not just about plain on marketing. This is about how are you actually becoming sought after. Let me put sought after. You're someone who knows that, hey, I actually want people to seek me out for my services. So go ahead and put sought after if you fall into that camp. Hey, Kimberly. Okay, I just want to make sure. I was like, I'm not seeing the comments. Okay, there we go. I might have to refresh the screen. Right. So we're going to jump into the comments here. Sorry, the content today. Let me get my little notes so I can have it out. So the three things that we are discussing today, just to do a quick recap, and it's here in the description, is what actually is client captivation and how is that different from plain old marketing? Why is now the time to embrace this unique method of client attraction? Right, and captivation, and how to get started actively with captivating clients and the easy way, right, to actually do it. So, as you know, a core business activity is marketing, right? We have to actually get out there and promote what we're selling, whether it's a product or a service, right? Because we want people to buy it. But here's a mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make, whether you're a service-based entrepreneur, but I see this often with people who are selling products, right? And it doesn't matter what products, but this happens a lot with people who are selling like hair bundles for some reason. So marketing, we just think, okay, I got to promote, right? And so I see this a lot on social media, and put, yes, if you've seen this too, where people just put up a flyer and say, hey, 50% off, come get my, I don't know, hair, right? Or come get my, buy my book, right? Whatever it is, they just stick it up on social media and they're like, oh, that should be encourage people to sell, right? There's like, just to buy, here, buy this, here's my book, here's my stuff, right? Let me know if you've seen that. You probably have, but put yes below if you've seen that on social media, where people just post what they're offering or what they're selling. And sometimes, once again, for those of us who are selling services and we do it through sales calls and enrollment calls, you will even see that as like, hey, I'm open for sessions, come schedule one, right? And there's nothing more to it, right? So we're just kind of blasting out what we have to offer into the universe, or someone's texting you via messenger. That happens to me all the time. Like, I accept a friend and they're like, oh, I want you to buy my book, or I sell Avon. And I'm like, I don't need that. And now I'm going to unfriend you, because that's the very first interaction that I have with you. So those methods, you can say it's old marketing. And you can even say it's kind of like advertising. Someone's just plastering their information, and they've probably been taught that, hey, you need to get this in front of many eyes as possible, and eventually someone will buy. Right. And they may have had someone buy, right? And so it's kind of like a numbers game, but that's not what we want to do. And that's actually what I've seen is not effective, and actually positioning yourself as a sought after expert, and actually having people who are captivated by you, your business, and ultimately what you have to offer. And captivation means, I love this definition. I looked it up online so that you can really see it as being interested, fascinated, feeling of liking something, right? And interested in it, and had the feeling of liking something. There was another part of that, but it's not here on my notes, so I must have left the word. It happens, right? But as you can see, they're interested, they're fascinated. There's something drawing them in, right? I call it magnetizing or attracting, right? Which is very different than you running after someone, right? And I don't encourage that. Once again, many of us don't do that, say in our love lives and our personal lives. So why would you want to do it in business where you feel like you have to keep chasing? Now, this is not a judgment, but put chase below if you feel like you are constantly maybe cold calling people or reaching out, or you feel like, quote unquote, like you're begging your family or friends or anyone to actually consider working with you. Right? Let me know that you ever feel that way. So put begging if you ever feel like, yeah, that feels like uncomfortable. So once And that's like cold calling and all those things like that works, right? It does work, but it's the harder way to do it, right? And I know you want to feel good. And how would it feel, right? If you knew exactly what to do to have people reaching out to you saying, hey, I want to learn more. Or they're just going immediately to book a call, right? To explore if and how you can help them, right? Or they're responding to your email saying, like, yes, I want to hear more about this program, workshop, what you do, right? To see if and how you can help me. I'm ready for you to help me, right? How would that feel? Imagine if that was your reality. How would that feel? Right. And that is often, I would say the majority of the time, of what I've done in my business. Like I've made the mistakes of like thinking I gotta go chase people. That was very early on. And then I don't do that. Right. So my whole business is based on client attraction. That is what I teach our clients here at Black Woman CEO. And it's a feel good way. It feels good on both people's parts. So that's what's different about captivation, right? Captivation versus regular old marketing where you're just plastering stuff, right, all over the place, is about connection, right? It's about engagement. And it's about building relationships with your audience and your potential clients and people or customers, even, and people who are going to buy from you, right? It's getting to build this crucial factor that many of you maybe have heard me talk about that is so crucial to having someone buy, which is called the like, know, and trust factor. Right. And some people, based on how you show up, and I'll talk about, that number one way to actually engage clients that are very easily, right? How to get started captivating them. But some people are going to have that instantly, right? And connecting with you. And they're going to be like, hey, I want to learn more. You really spoke to me when I read this. And I have people tell me that all the time. Like, hey, I read this, or I watched a video and I felt like you were in my head. You knew exactly what I was talking about, right? And so it's building that connection. So some people instantly have that and they're like, girl, I need what you got right away, right? And there's some people that is called building, cultivating, or nurturing relationships, where Salesforce.com shows that people need about 6 to 8, and I've even read as high as 12 touches, right? You can say interactions or exposure before they actually buy from you, right? So as you can see, just plastering up that, I don't know, graphic in somebody's Facebook group or on your social media page is not enough, right? And it's not saying, oh, go ahead and plaster it 12 times, right? So while that may increase exposure, that's not actually captivating and engaging people. So you want to build connection, you want to build engagement, and you want to build a relationship. And the way that you do that is by exchanging value, right? Exchanging value, right? We have to give value, right, in order to get something in exchange. And for many of us, that first exchange, right, on the path to getting clients may be just getting someone's email, right? We're exchanging that value from email. And also maybe actually getting that lead with someone saying, hey, I actually want to learn more. Can I get on a call with you? Or they're going to check out your sales page, or they're messaging you, right? Or they're replying to your email to explore if and how you can help them. Right now, so what is that part? How do you get started with captivating clients in the easy way? Right. Well, first, let me check in. Do you see how captivation is different than that old marketing? Right. So put captivation down below if you're like, yep, I get it. So I can know that explanation was clear to you. So put I get it so I can know that explanation was clear to you. And let me refresh here because I know people are commenting in the group and on the page. All right, I'll refresh the screen, and if I have to, come back and read the comments because Facebook changed everything again, and I'm not seeing the comments from my video. All right, captivation, you got it. Okay, great. And okay, so why is now the time to embrace this unique method of client attraction? Here's the thing, and we're going to talk about this in this realm of we're in quarantine, the coronavirus, everything that's going on with this pandemic, right? But in general, people are often looking for leadership or guidance to help them to know how to get to what they desire in life, right? They may be experiencing, and when I say a problem or struggle, and I was about to say they may be experiencing a problem or struggle, is not always about something, say, traumatic or something bad, right? Someone could be desiring, they may feel like their life is okay, and they may be desiring a greater relationship with their daughter, right? And so maybe it's an okay relationship, but they like, hey, I really want to know how to even better talk to her efficiently and maybe teach her lessons and really raise her to be an awesome person, right? So let me know if you ever done that, right? You're like, okay, this something that a problem to the point was like causing you pain, but you have the desires on maybe how you want to take your life and improve. So put improve if you definitely have had this. And many of us, that's why we do personal development, right? That's why we do professional development. And so, but what do we do when we want to grow? We often look for a resource, right? Sometimes that's reading a book. Sometimes that's actually going to have a video. Often for many of us, we're hiring someone, right, to maybe help us get guidance, whether it's a therapist, right, or a coach or consultant to help us and where we want to go, right? So there are always people looking for leadership or an expert to guide them along the way. Why? I've often heard people be like, oh, I can go Google that. But not everybody wants to Google, right? Often people pay for ease, or they pay for someone to do it for them, to do it with them, or to teach them how to do it. So yes, you can go Google most things nowadays, but why do that if an expert sat there and compiled it into a book? Why do that if someone says, hey, here's actually the six steps you have to take, and you don't have to worry about trial and error. You don't have to worry about making these mistakes. I made them for you, right? And so I'm giving you a simple path to get to where you want to go, right? So there's a number of reasons why I call her Miss Premium, right? Why she invests, right? But mostly for those of us who have service business, someone's coming to you either because you have an expertise that they don't have, right? Or they're looking to say, hey, I resonated with you. I think you're someone who can help me. You have displayed that, right? And so I am ready to get some support in this. So there's always people looking for that. And even though we're in this crisis right now, and so I know that people are losing their jobs, like, my husband's like portfolio is losing some value, right? It's like 15,000 less than it was like 4 weeks ago. Yes, those things are happening, right? But it doesn't mean that people aren't still invested in themselves, right? In growth. Also, it doesn't mean that people still don't have resources that they use to invest, right? So, i.e., money, right? So we never know people's situations. So there can still be high end, high ticket, right? Premium clients, people who are willing to pay, 4 figures or more to get a problem solved and to continue or to start working on a solution, right? And what they desire in their life, and then having someone to support them in that way. So that happens all the time, right? It just exists, right? So everyone is not having a hard time right now as far as financially, and even the time, because when we ask people to invest, it's not just about money, it's about their investing resources, investing time, investing energy, right? And then also investing financially, because you need to get paid, right? That's why we say captivating clients, not just people, right? People who are ready and able to pay for your services. So those people exist, right? They still have their own struggles. They still have their desires, and they're willing to invest to get someone to support them, right? In that. So that's one thing. And here's what's really crucial right now around the coronavirus is that your audience is now experiencing even particular problems that are unique to this experience, right? And many people who may be able to help them are shrinking, right? They're shrinking in the sense that they may be falling back into their own challenges and problems. They're not showing up and doing marketing. Maybe they feel insecure. They're like, I don't know how to help people, right? So, for example, I have a number of clients who have brick and mortar businesses. And they were just like, Quenisha, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Right. So in a way, they weren't showing up because they're like, I don't know how to even run my business right now. Who's going to buy from me? Who's going to serve me? People can't get their hair done. Right. And then we had to think creatively of like, okay, well, how will you need to realign? Because there are particular things that your exact audience, right, is struggling with that's unique to this experience. Right. So for example, one of my clients is a hairstylist, right? She does natural hair. And I was like, well, okay, if we were to think about your target audience, right? People who desire natural hair or want their natural hair to look a certain way and enjoy getting their style, how can you still serve them, right? Because what is uniquely showing up? And for them, it may be like, okay, well, how do I do my natural hair at home, right? Using everyday products because I can't get to the salon. Or can you still serve me, right, virtually, and helping me make sure that my hair stays healthy, that I can style it appropriately until, one day we can all go outside again, right? And like really navigate the world without being at risk. So guess what? People are now hiring her for virtual hairstyling, right? They're investing. She actually has a training coming up to help people to show them, here's how to groom your natural hair and locks, right? From home. So as you can see, there's still a need, right? It just maybe we have to tune into that need a little differently, right? So the time is now, and now is always, not just with the coronavirus, but all the time. And so the question is, are you going to be the one to step forward, knowing that your audience has different needs, but they're particularly urgent right now, right? As they're dealing with the stress of living in the circumstances, right? And their quality of life changing, their normalcy is changing, right? And another one of my clients is productivity work. And we were talking about, okay, what particularly is coming up with people now? And think about it. A lot of people have their kids home all day. So not only maybe the mess that was bothering them before is there, now it feels more pronounced because it's like, oh, everybody's in the house, or the mess is getting worse, right? Or the system that maybe I had is no longer working because of the stress and different things like that. And so if you say, hey, here's how to work on productivity during the coronavirus, right? And then someone's like, oh, okay. And they're like, hey, I can also help you with this. Let's connect. Right now, the person's like, oh, I do want to connect because I need to invest in some support with this. Right. So yes, there's some dire needs right now. Once again, it's not about food, water, sex, the bottom necessities. But once again, things are coming up with people because they've had a drastic shift in their quality of life. And the question is, are you going to shrink, right, and not do anything, knowing that people need your help? Or are you going to actually show up and be a leader around this and show people what's going on, how they can begin to solve it, what they can do, or why they need to think about this differently, or why they want to start paying attention to this stuff, and then offering them, right, a chance to work with you in order to get to where they want to go. Right. So there's no time like the present, right? But particularly during this time, people are looking for support and leadership, and particularly expertise and leadership that can leverage the online space, right? In the virtual space. Because say you've been a speaker or you've been doing live networking or running meetups, that is no longer there. So that's another reason why people are shrinking, because they're like, oh, I don't know how to reach people. I've always done in-person stuff. And they may not have this savviness that you have, right? Or that you can get, right? Because that's why I hope my clients get to build their businesses online, that you can get, that allows you to access the people who need this in a way that only way that they can truly receive it right now, which is virtually. Right. But imagine not just serving these people in your immediate area, but serving people around the globe, right? Having that possibility because you learned how to not only show up, but to show up in a way where you are highly accessible to attract, right? To captivate people who would be interested in what you have to offer, right? How would that feel if one, you knew how to do that, right? And how does it feel just knowing that there are people out there ready and willing to work with you? Actually put ready and willing if you're like, yeah, Carnisha, I get that, right? There are people ready and willing to work with you. But the thing is that you have to show up and you have to seize the moment. And that's really all the time, right? That there's no better time than the present. So put now if you're like, yeah, I definitely get why now is the time, right? And in times of crisis, that's particularly when people need help. And once again, this doesn't have to be, like I said, the dramatic crisis of like, oh, I can't get out of bed, I'm depressed, right? But it's just like, my life just shifted. Who can help me, right? Who can help me through this, right? Okay, I see you all putting really ready and willing, and I get it. I'm here. I got it. Awesome, awesome. Let me just check the other. Okay. All right. So that is why now is the time to embrace this unique method of client attraction, like really actually learning how to captivate. And once again, for those of you who just jumped on, I talked about captivation is different than marketing, which is just plastering up a graphic saying, oh, my book's for sale. Captivation is really about connection, engagement, and building relationships, right? And giving value in a way that helps to facilitate that, right? Showing up consistently. Because guess what? Imagine like when you were dating, right? Or if you are still dating, and you connected with this person. Maybe I had a great first conversation, but then they ghost on you. Right? Or you reach out and they kind of like half, reply to you, and they say they're going to take you on a date, but you only see each other once a month. What are you going to assume? You're going to eventually assume that this person is not interested in you. And then what's going to happen? You're going to not be interested in them. Right. So when we don't show up consistently, when we don't start to see ourselves as or as part of our task is to build relationships and to cultivate relationships, we don't show up consistently. And basically what we're telling people who raise their hand to say, hey, I want to learn more, either by joining your email list or people who have followed you, right, or who have joined your Facebook group, when you don't show up consistently, it is essentially telling them you're not interested. You're not interested in serving them. Right? That you're not interested in potentially helping them with the problem. You're not interested in leading them. You're not interested in guiding them. Right? So this is not only out of respect for them, it's also out of respect for the calling and the vision and the purpose that you have on your life. Right? Because if God or the universe, your higher power, higher self, puts something on your heart, you are almost telling God, your higher self, universe, whatever your spectrum of belief is, that you're like, oh, you're wrong, or I'm not going to step up to that challenge, right? Because it's all part of showing up. Our riches come through people, right? People have to pay you. You have to serve people, right? In order to almost get what you want in life, right? So the more people you help, the more people you serve, the more clients that you can support, right? Especially when you're using value-based pricing, right? The higher your revenue is going to be, the higher your income is going to be, the higher chance, right, that you have the resources to live on your own terms, to travel as you desire, right? To have that financial freedom to live a legacy. So I want you to put rise. If you're like, Quanisha, I'm going to rise to this occasion, right? I'm going to lead. I'm going to guide people with my expertise. So put rise in all caps. I want you to really like put rise. If you're going to make the decision today, or you have made the decision, because I've been talking to y'all last month, to show up and show out, right? And get known and give value for those people who need you. And this is why I call folks soulmate clients, right? The people who are out there that we're seeking to support, because they are praying for you. They're praying for someone who can help them in the unique way that you can, right? And they connect with you, how you see the world, right? What you think the solution is to going from, A to B, right? And solving their problem. So there is someone meant for everyone. But all the time, but particularly now, it's about the time to say, I'm going to show up and show out. I'm going to rise. I'm going to be the thought leader. I'm going to be an expert. I'm going to be a guide, right? To help people. All right. I see y'all put a rise. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so the last part that I wanted to go over today, and I'll answer some of the questions after that, is basically, here we go. So how to get started with captivating clients the easy way. And I kind of just said it, right? So the easiest way to get started with captivating clients is to do content marketing, right? Content marketing. And this is where you are stepping forward to give value, right? And you're inviting people to explore and learn more about what they do by actually putting content together. And this content can be, although blog posts are not the most popular, right? But it could be articles, it could be a video like this, it could be posts, right? Written posts that you mentioned. It could be quote images, although those are not the best forms of content, right? But how are you actually engaging people and helping them to understand, right, what they're struggling with, right? Why they're struggling with that. What are some mistakes that they're making around that? What are some myths that they may be having that's getting in the way? And then ultimately, what is the solution that you're suggesting? Also, when you share, content can be sharing testimonials. Content can be you sharing your story. Content can be sharing case studies to let them know, hey, here's what's possible, right? When you do this level of work, right? When you go through this solution, right? Sarah went from here to here, right? Them seeing real world examples through you or with their story about what's possible, right? And that comes through content marketing. It comes through content marketing. And I want to share a definition that comes from the Content Marketing Institute so you can really have a full understanding of what this is. So here's why content works. So content marketing is a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience and ultimately to drive profitable customer action. Right? So as you can hear, it's strategic, right? It's creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content, right? Once again, to attract and also to keep, right? To attract this audience and keep them, and then ultimately to drive profitable customer action, right? And that includes clients. And that action is people, once again, raising their hand to say, that, hey, I want to learn more. I want to learn how you can help me with solving this problem, right? Can you do it with me? What do you all think about that? This idea of content? Put content below if you're like, I would like to learn how to do that, or that's what I'm doing, right? To actually attract clients. And why does content work? So when we share our content, right? And here's right, it's the easy way. You are once again engaging, connecting, and building a relationship with them. Because often in content, we start speaking to that person's problem. We start letting them know, like, hey, I see you, I hear you, I've been there, right? Or someone I know is there, right? And then we're giving them something that's going to help them get a win right now, right? And sometimes that win is helping them to understand something, right? Helping them to discover something. It could be giving them some how to, right? That's going to guide them closer to what they're desiring in their life. Right. And so the reason why you become sought after is that your content is attracting people, right, who are interested in learning more, right, or who are interested in your topic, right, and learning how to do something. So learning more, right, is learning how to like solve their problem, right, or to get to where they want to go. And then ultimately, you're going to be, say, turning those folks into clients because you're going to be inviting them to learn how to work with you, right? You're inviting them, and often that can be through a call. It could be directing them to your sales page because you have a course or a workshop or a product, whatever it is, that's inviting them to say, hey, if you want a deeper relationship, click here, book here, call here. And what are all those actions? Someone has to take that action, right? Like I have to click the button, right? And go to it and go to your booking calendar. It's not you slamming a link at me in my messenger when I didn't even give you permission to talk to me. Right. And it's so captivating is also called permission marketing, right? Where people are giving you permission to say, hey, I'm giving you permission to market with me, to market to me. Right. So captivating too, when you magnetize, is having, once again, content. And many people do this through a free offer where someone's saying, hey, I'm going to exchange my email for your information because I'm interested in this topic. Something around what you wrote, like this, the art of captivating clients, attracted you to the topic. Right. And then if you make an offer, right, for people to get your free offer, they're now giving you their email and they're giving you permission to show up in their inbox to keep serving them. Right. And then you make the invitation for whatever your flow is for people to explore how they can work with you. Right. But we want to make sure we have content that's, I like to call it kick ass, how to create kick ass content that captivates and converts. And there's a way to do that, right? Through knowing your client, knowing what their desire, knowing what their struggles are, knowing the type of language that they use to explain, right, these things, and then being able to use that in a certain order, right? So that once again, it builds that relationship, it builds that fascination. And ultimately, we're doing this so that people actually see us as that expert and thought leader. It's positioning you, right, as a high value leader. And people want leadership, right? They want guidance, right? We don't always want to figure everything out ourselves. They want a trusted advisor, right? So now you're elevated because guess what? Just how people write a book, and we're often fascinated, like, oh, this person's the author, because most people don't do it. Most people don't sit down and write 300 pages on something, right? But here's the thing. Most people aren't writing articles. Most people aren't showing up on video, right? Most people are not organizing talks and meetups and that kind of stuff. It's not the thing that the average person does. So the fact that you actually sat there and put your thoughts together, right, and showed up on video like this, or wrote an article, right, or even wrote a long form post, that speaks to something, right? That elevates you. You're like, wow, this person has some knowledge to share. This person has some information to share, right? And people become attracted to you. And then particularly when your content is starting to help them, right? Help them. They want to keep showing up. They want to keep hearing more, right? And when they're ready to get their own customized strategy, right? When they're ready to move forward, right? That's when they're going to explore if and how you can help them, right? If and how you can help them. So content marketing is the easiest way to do this. You don't need to go buy Facebook ads, right? You don't need to go plaster, I don't know, graphics. I say, talk to me, right? On the internet, right? You really want, or like spamming people's messenger, right? Your content can speak for you, right? And you allow it to, once again, draw people in who need that, who are interested. Because it really, if someone's reading your content and interacting with it, they're likely to say, I have that problem, right? Or I want to learn more, or this is what I want. So let me go read about it, right? Let me go watch this video. Like, you all here because you want to learn how to get more clients, or to get clients at all, and to do it in a way that feels good, right? To do it in a way where they are coming to you. Right? So let me know if that's you. Put captivate below if you're like, yes, I want to learn how to do this. That's why you are here. So my content, right, drew you in. It drew you in, right? And some of you are current clients, and some of you may become my client because I have demonstrated in some way that I can help you, right? That I can help you. So I hope you can see that, right? One, how content is different from marketing, right? While now is the time, all the time in the present. And here's also why, is that your content will continue to work for you, right? I have people who watched something or read something I did 2 or 3 years ago, right? Or I have people who just started work with me and they're like, Quenisha, I've been following you for 5 years. I've been on your email list for right? So your content always works for you. So that's why now is the time to create it, because it's something that will keep serving you throughout your business, especially when you do it strategically, right? So there's certain components to do it strategically, so that even leads to people saying like, hey, even though I read this content 4 or 5 years ago, I'm setting up a call to talk to you, right? So now is also the time to start, so that you start building this, you can say, this portfolio of thought leadership, this portfolio of content. Tiffany said that was me following you for years. Yes. And so our content gives people the opportunity to get to know us, to get to know us as an expert, and for us to serve them, right? To use our gifts in service of them and helping them to start to, like I said, understand, maybe have some really tips that can help them right now in solving their problem. Right. So then they can also see like, wow, this person has a body of work. I remember one time someone told me like, Quenisha, you're prolific. Right. And once again, when we think about someone who's an expert, right, a lot of you talk about like the number of years someone's doing or their education. And yes, those are things that can add to folks' credibility. Right. But if someone sees your blog and it has like 13 pages and each post has like 10, right, or you have 30 videos because you did once a week, or 52 you did once a week, what would you think about that person? Just tell me below. If you went on someone's page and they had 52 videos because they showed up every week, or at least 52 podcasts, right, or they had 52 articles on their blog, what would you think about that person? Go ahead and write it below. Let me tell you what you think about that person. All right, they're consistent, following for a few years now, or Echo was saying that, but then was not sure if I wanted to go full time with my purpose. I'm ready now. Yeah, and that's the other thing. About 3% of your audience will be ready to buy from you. right? Or there's like 5 steps in the customer journey, and people are at different places. People may be aware that they have a problem but not be ready to solve it. People may be aware they have a problem and not know how to solve it. Some people will know they have a problem and they have an idea on how to solve it, but then they're like, well, who's going to help me solve it? Right? And then there's some people who are like, I'm ready, right? I want to get help. And now it's a matter of who is going to help me, right? Who's going to be the right path, right? Or what is going to be the right path for me to take in order for me to get to where I want to go, right? Kimberly said that they are committed. So our content, right, and how we show up, especially when we do it consistently, can be speaking to these people at these different points of the customer journey, right? And some people may be like, okay, this is something I'm working on one day, but I'm working on this right now. And the more you show up consistently, the more that you are dedicated to your business long term, the more dependable that you can come, and you stay top of mind so that when someone is ready to invest because of your content, once again, right, you've shown value, you show them that you can help, you've been educating them about, thinking differently, maybe about the problem or different approaches to take, or your solution, right? Your comprehensive solution, that when they're ready, who do they think about? They think about you, right? And they're like, oh, that's right, Quaisha does this. Right? Like I had one client one time, and before she was a client, she reached out to me. She was an executive director. And she said, you know what? I'm ready to build out my own services and business. And when I thought about who can help me, I instantly thought of you. And she DM'd me, right? And we got on the call and she became a client. Like literally that was like 2 or 3 days because the call was 2 or 3 days later. Right? And that was a $5,000 contract. But imagine if I stopped showing up. Imagine if I didn't email people all the time. Imagine if I didn't do videos, right? So that's why your content continues to work with you, because it keeps you top of mind. It's one of the easiest things to do. And there's so many ways to do content in a way that aligns with your persona, right? And who you are. And it's even easy to create it. Like I give my clients all the time, like formulas and different strategies. Some of you are in Magnetize, like, so that I can teach you kind of like how my brain breaks it down and it makes it easy for you. Right. But sharing value through content, right, no matter what medium it is the best way to connect, engage, and even build a relationship, right, with people. Right, with people. So I hope you can see that is the art, really, of captivating clients, is being clear on how captivation is different than regular marketing. It's being clear that now is the right time to do it. Right. And it's being clear that you're going to really make a choice to be strategic and to show up consistently. Right. So that you can position yourself for those who are ready, willing, and able, and you know how to call them in. Right. And yes, there's more particulars to this, but you know that by doing this, you are calling in the people who are interested in what you have to have. Right. And then your content, that when you make the invitation, the content already warmed them up. And for those who are ready to take the next step, you're giving them the opportunity to do that. Right. So ultimately, the art of this is really knowing that there is a way to market, right, that is strategic and that builds relationships. Right. And so the part you really have to learn is how to deliver that content, right, in a way that helps it to connect with the people who want to work with you. Okay, so what do you all think about that? What is your major takeaway from today? And let me refresh my screen because your comments went away. How is this connecting with you? And so one thing I want to do while you all are typing is that, one, I want to encourage you to come back next week for Talk Tuesday, because then I'm going to be talking about more deeply into captivating clients during crisis, particularly, right? And then and giving you actually my formula that I use often to create content that is extremely easy, right? That even speaks to people in crisis and both good and bad times. And then the other thing I want you to do, I want you to click the description here, because April 20th through the 28th, we're going to have workshop week. With our Black Women CEO workshop. Some of you came from Meant for More, but I'm doing it bigger this time. where it's 5 days, right? And we're going to talk about how really you can even find clients now. So one, building your confidence, right? And then, like I said, emancipating your earning power and going deeper into how you actually position yourselves to captivate and attract clients. Right. So, for example, day one, you're going to discover 5 must haves to find clients now. Day two, or I should say, session two, you're going to discover 5 powerful mindsets for more clients and cash. Then day three, or session three, part three, I just put it that way. You're going to learn the fastest and simplest path to cashing clients. Part four, I keep saying days. Part four, how to build a premium offer that's exactly what high-end clients want and need, and therefore will buy, right? And then the fifth part is how to talk so high-end clients invest. Right. And then even between that, I'm going to be sharing, we're going to have a sister and success panel where you actually get to see some of my clients and one, ask them questions, but also let them share their experiences with using this method of captivating clients to help them build their business, and some of the other processes that we use as Black Women CEO. And then I'll even just have also Q&A for all of you. So after we've gone through the whole Men for More workshop, you may have questions and different things, as well as, of course, share the opportunity to work with me if you desire to do that, and helping you to build your business, right? And position yourself as a high value expert. So that's what we're covering for workshop week. But you definitely want to register because you can only get the action guide, right? So it's the workbook that's going to support you through the whole week through email, through registering. So if you register today, the workbook's not available yet, but at least you get on the list so that you're one of the first people that will get that via email. So that's what that is about. So if you go click, it basically just tells you what I just said, and you can go ahead and get registered for the workshop week. And I definitely encourage you, if you see the phone number, I know sometimes people see like, oh, she's crying a phone number. I'm not going to be spamming you every day, sending you text messages, but it's for you to get text message alerts. So if you're anything like me, sometimes you don't get the email, you don't open the email, but you get a text and you're like, oh, okay, we're going live at 3 today. Right. So it's helping you to just stay informed and get alerts, because I really want to support you in building a profitable business, but really learning what it takes to attract clients now, right? Or setting up yourself, like your content, and setting up so that your content continues to work with you, so that you basically have potential clients in your pipeline, right? That will ultimately lead to people investing in you. I cannot see anything. Okay, Facebook needs to fix this whole thing. Like, I can't see your comments. Okay, so what questions do you have today for me from all of this? And let me figure out, maybe I need to go on my phone because I feel like I can't see any of y'all stuff. They changed the app. You know why? I had them switch me to the new interface. I wonder, let me switch back to classic. Okay, so I'm gonna switch. I switch back to the classic view. So that should allow me to see things the way I need to. I'm like, I can't see y'all comments. It was there and then it went away. Okay, we're back in business. I can see it now. Okay, let's see. Okay, these were your takeaways. Okay. I can take bolder steps to share my expertise. Awesome. Erica said, how important is to share my value showing up every day? Yes. Tiffany said, keeping me encouraged to just keep working the plan. Yes, Tiffany, keep working the plan. Not to shout Tiffany out, she's a private client. And on Monday, I was like, keep working the plan, Tiffany. Awesome. Which, like I said, is really the content marketing piece and doing it strategically. The way we show it here at Black Women CEO. Erica said, my challenge is working a full-time 9 to 5. I struggle with creating balance. Yeah. So it's interesting because one of the things I help folks with is making a model calendar. I always tell everyone, like, show me how many hours you got and I'll show you how to work your business. So I built my business while working a 9 to 5, while in full-time graduate school. And I was in social work school. So we have field placements and all these other things like that. So when you learn content marketing, you learn how to do it effectively. This is not about creating new content every day, right? You can create a core piece of content, right? That's your weekly content that goes out that can still effectively work with you. So it's really about looking in your schedule and seeing what's going to be your content creation time, what's going to be your content distribution time, what's going to be the time where you can have calls with potential clients, right? So that they can explore working with you. And for some of us that's working on 9 to 5, it may be Saturday morning, right? Or maybe one evening, right? So you definitely want to have those dedicated times. And a lot of times I use my lunch break, honestly. Like I would use my lunch break to do client calls. I would use my lunch break to write content, right? So sometimes I would eat while I was working so that I could have the full hour to do a client call, because that's when I was doing them longer, right? I could have the full hour to start maybe drafting my content, to maybe start outlining it, Erica. So you can definitely balance this, right, while working. And that's why I really teach people how to leverage virtual and online tools, because if you're doing a lot of things in person, yeah, that's going to take time, because now you got to try to travel to a site, right? Then you got to be at the site. Then you got to travel back to the site. Or you think you have to take a day off. And I actually did do that. I used to do workshops and different things. And so I would use my time off strategically, or I would do workshops in the morning and go to work later and then, make up that time on different ways. And once again, not everybody has that flexibility. But if you start doing things virtually, right, and some work may need to be in person, right? But then you can strategically decide when to do that. But if you really have built a business where you can deliver a lot of your work remotely, right, or virtually, it allows you more flexibility. But you can definitely do what we're talking about here, using content to captivate clients while you're working a 9 to 5. And so finding time is really about your commitment. Are you committed? Right? Are you committed? Because when we are committed to something, we will make it work. Right. And so obviously my job is helping you to work smarter, not harder. So there's definitely strategic ways you can do it, especially when sometimes it's the formula that you're using, right? Or it's just like plug and play so that it's easier for you to show up. Or even doing a live stream like this. You can do this at 6 p.m. and that could be your content for the week. Right. And then my job is to teach you how to strategically distribute it so that it continues to work with you. It continues to build your business. It continues to build your list and your leads. So let me know if that works, if that answers your question, Erica, or speaks to that challenge. Stella said consistency, commitment, encouragement, consistent, just do it. And then particularly through email, through registering. Yes. Stella says, I love the text messages. Yeah, it's helpful. Stella said, gotta make an offer. Erica said, right. All right. Any other questions on what we covered today? So the thing I want you to walk away with most, if you don't listen to anything else I say, right? And let me put this in the comments. This is where you can register 4 minutes from where it's like cutting it off, but I'm going to drop it in the comments so you can go ahead and get registered for our workshop week. Ooh, I didn't write sorry, I cut off a K. Okay, so don't use the first one. Let me delete that. So the biggest thing I want you to walk away with the art of captivating clients is really the art of building connection, is really the art of engaging, and it's really the art of building relationships. That is really the art of captivating clients. And when you learn how to do that, right, then you're going to be positioning yourselves to attract people who are fascinated by you, right, who are interested. And not just you, right? It's more like interested in what you know, right? Interested in your skill, interested in the service that you provide, right? And of course, they resonate with you, right? Because many of us are solopreneurs, we are our businesses, right? It's our thought process, it's our particular take on things, or we're the speaker, we're the consultant, right? For many of us, it's us, right? But that content helps to, you can say, almost endear people to you. And this is not in a predatory way. It's just the psychology of sales, right? If you're giving value, like me showing up here and it's serving you, like some of you just said, your takeaways, it helps to endear you to me. It helps to build a friendship in a way, right? It helps to build our relationship, right? And then for those of you who are ready, you take the next step. But once again, there's no pressure because I'm not chasing you. I'm not in your messenger. Or if I do message you, it's because I'm like, hey, thank you for hanging out with me. What was your takeaway? Right. And then I may officially ask you, are you looking for formal support right now? And if no, then it's like, okay, well, the door is always open. We are here. Right. But you see how that's so different than, hey, I have a workshop, his link, right? No, like I had a conversation with you. Some of you have been on the receiving end of me DMing you just to say, hey, what's up? Right. What are you struggling with? What did you take away from the call today or the video today? right? And then you want formal support. And if not, then it's not, right? I'm not hard pressed. And I don't want you to be hard pressed for clients. And that's why you have to learn how to just connect, how to engage with people, and how to build that relationship really for long term. Because like I said, some people need a couple of touches, right? And interactions with you. You know, it's almost like with relationships, you got to date for 2 years before you get married. Some people need that 2 years of courting before they become a client, right? Because once again, you have to build that like, know, and trust factor. And by you showing up consistently, as many of you said, right, it shows that you're committed, right? And here's the thing, if they see that you're committed to content marketing, right, or showing up for your business marketing, right, and sharing value, they know that they can trust you and that you're going to be committed as their service provider, right? That you're going to see through and deliver on what you said, because they're like, oh, she's trustworthy, right? So I know she's going to help me. And when she does help me, she's going to show up and do what she said she's going to do, right? So that's the other part of it. So if you leave the whole art of captivating clients, at the core piece of it is connection, engagement, and building a relationship, right? Building a relationship. Erica said, yes, it spoke to my challenge. All right, everyone. Well, I enjoyed doing this with you. I'm so excited. We're going to be doing Talk Tuesdays. So definitely come back. Like I said, next week, we're going to dive deeper into the captivating clients during crisis, right? And particularly how to do that right now while we're doing like COVID-19, the quarantining, and even after, right? We may be actually facing a recession, but guess what? You can still generate revenue. You can still attract clients, or even start. Here's the thing about client attraction. It's not just about getting people to pay you. People, I call it's our profit roadmap, right? So there's a business building process. And actually you can go get our profit roadmap. If you go to Black Women CEO, let me put there. So this way you can see what I'm talking about. And / leadership guide. You can go ahead and get our profit roadmap guide, which is 5 steps to building a revenue generating business. And you'll see what I'm talking about, right? So magnetizing and cultivating, which is kind of part of that captivating clients, is just 2 steps in the whole 5-step process that someone needs to go to become a client, right? So it's first you getting in alignment, then it's this magnetizing and cultivating, this is where our content comes in, and then you propose, right? Well, that's the ask that you're going to make the invitation. And then ultimately it's delighting and delivering. And when you actually delight and deliver, what happens when you like a service? You share it, right? People send referrals to you, or they become testimonials or case studies, which still helps you, right, to even attract more clients. Right. So it's all about helping folks to get into your profit roadmap flow. Right. And once again, the more it touches, and some of business is a numbers game, but we want to do it strategically. Right. The more opportunity. Someone recently said that business is a contact sport, and I loved it. Right. So the more contact you're having with your audience, the more sales enrollment conversations that you have, right? Those one-on-one exploratory calls, right? The higher you get to having someone be a client. Right. And once again, my whole goal is so that you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and figuring this out, but that you have clear strategies to help you at each step of the profit roadmap that are highly effective, right, for captivating clients. And then ultimately, that revenue that ultimately then allows you to get what you want in life. Right. So yes, part of us serving is one thing that we want. Right. But the other part is, what does money allow you to buy? Right. What does it allow? Oh, girl, the episode stopped, but the party is not over. I want you to go ahead and subscribe, like, and rate this show. Leave us a comment sharing your takeaways. And when you're done with that, come on over to blackwomanceo.com, join our movement. And when you do that, you'll get the special invitation to join us in our community. Well, I will love to put a face to that name, girl. So this is Quanisha signing off, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Peace and love.